Shalom, everyone, and welcome to Just a Word. This is Kazak Eliyahu along with Jeremy. And today we are going to be looking into flesh and blood in the kingdom. Flesh and blood in the kingdom, because there is a misunderstanding of what happens in the kingdom. I was speaking with someone, a Jehovah's Witness, yesterday, and he was telling us the typical Christian line: neither Jew nor Gentiles, you're all sons of the Most High, and it doesn't matter who you are. If you're an Israelite, it does not matter. We did a series showing the difference between salvation and redemption, and we showed that Israel will be redeemed and that salvation is available for everyone. We suggest you take a look at those teachings, but this video, I hope, will give us more insights into what happens in the kingdom of the Most High between those who are Israelites and those who are not. Now, first of all, let's go to the Bible, and we will go to Ephesians 4, verse 4.
There is one body and one ruach, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling. One master, one emunah, one immersion, one Alua, and Father of all, who is above all, and through all, and in you all.
All right, so this oneness, one in Ruach. Now, what we are saying, it is that when anyone comes to the Most High, whatever nation, if you're a stranger that is joined to Yasharal, what the Apostle Shaul was saying, that you are one Ruach. The Ruach, or the spirit, is different from the body. You are one Ruach, but different body. Because the Most High chose a people from the beginning for himself, and he gave these people promises that he did not give any other nation. So when we come to Hamashiach, we become one Ruach. And when we become that one Ruach, we are given different gifts. That's why in verse 11 it says, and he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. So through that one Ruach, we are made to be in one body, and we can interact as one Ruach. But what we're going to show you is that that one Ruach is not all there is to it. Christians want to let you think that it stops there. That's it. We are all one Ruach. We are no equal. No, we're going to go deeper and show you that's not what it is. So we are one in Hamashiach, one in Ruach, but not one in flesh. Because the rewards that the Messiah is coming with will be according to what has been done in the flesh. But entry into the kingdom is through perfection in the Ruach. Because, as it said in Galatians 5, the flesh lusteth after the Ruach, and the Ruach lusteth after the flesh. Let's go there quickly. Galatians 5, start at verse 16 into 17, please.
This I say then, walk in the ruach, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the ruach, and the ruach against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would.
So we have a battle with the flesh lusting against the Ruach, and the Ruach against the flesh. They are contrary to the other, so you cannot walk in righteousness. So you have to walk in the Ruach. Why? The flesh, with its demands, is going to make us sin. To avoid sinning, we have to walk in the Ruach. And when we walk in the Ruach, that is our entrance into the kingdom. Because our flesh will stop us from getting into the kingdom. That is why it is the Ruach that gets us into the kingdom. That is the entry. Colossians 3 verse 9. If it sounds confusing, I think as time goes, it will get clearer. Read please, Colossians 3 verse 9.
Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. Where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free, but Hamashiach is all, and in all.
All right. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds. This is the man of flesh. The deeds that come with us satisfying the desires of this flesh. These are the deeds that you have to put away. That is the old man that you have to throw away. And put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. In knowledge after the image of Yahuwah, who is Yahusha HaMashiach. So that is now us walking in the Spirit. And then it will not matter whether we are Jew nor Greek nor barbarian, uncircumcised, circumcised, bond or free. Because we will have this one unified Ruach or spirit that comes through HaMashiach. So we have the flesh with its deeds, but we have to put off the flesh and now walk in the Spirit in order for us to qualify for the kingdom. But the question is the body no longer important? Because this is what those in religion will have you believe. Okay, we are now one spirit. The body doesn't matter. Okay? We're going to show that the body matters in the kingdom. There is a qualifying factor, and that is we have to walk in the Spirit in the likeness of the Messiah. But when we qualify, then we are rewarded for the promises that we were given when we were in the flesh. So we have to overcome the flesh, and then we will be rewarded for what we did while we were still in the flesh before we enter the kingdom. It's going to get clearer as we go. 1 Corinthians 6, and we'll start at verse 14. Read, please.
And Eluah hath both raised up the master, and will also raise up us by his own power.
So here it is. He will raise up the master Yahusha, and will also raise up us by his own power. How is he going to raise us up? He's going to raise us up in the flesh. After we have overcome through the help of the Ruach, walking in the Ruach, then we will be raised up in flesh. But this flesh that we will be raised up in will be incorruptible flesh, not this corruptible one. Continue.
Know ye not that your bodies are the members of Hamashiach?
Our what? Our bodies. So it's not that the bodies are not important. It's that for us to enter into the kingdom, we have to negate its importance because we have to overcome the flesh to enter. Read verse 15, please.
Know ye not that your bodies are the members of Hamashiach? Shall I then take the members of Hamashiach and make them the members of an harlot? Eluah forbid.
So you see the importance. We cannot take our bodies and use them and do anything sinful. Verse 16.
What? Know ye not that he which is joined to an harlot is one body? For two, saith he, shall be one flesh.
So when we join ourselves in sin, we become partners with sin. But when we walk in the Spirit, verse 17.
But he that is joined unto Yahuwah, or the Master, is one Ruach.
He that is joined unto the Master is one Ruach. So you become one Ruach with the Master when you are joined with him. But if you are joined with sinful flesh, then your flesh becomes one with sin. Verse 18.
Flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body. But he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body.
Now, here, verse 19. This is the importance of the body. Continue.
What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Ruach HaKadosh, which is in you, which ye have of Elohim, and ye are not your own?
So we are, our bodies now become the temple of the Most High. So that is the importance. The body is not discarded. It is important, but we have to bring down its importance so that we can walk in the Spirit. That is why it says in 1 Corinthians 3, 16 to 17, it gets even more critical when it tells us that we will be destroyed if we don't handle our bodies carefully. 1 Corinthians 3:16.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of Elohim, and that the Ruach of Elohim dwelleth in you?
So the Ruach dwells in us. So we are responsible to keep our temples clean so the Ruach can dwell in a clean place. But if we defile our bodies, verse 17,
If any man defile the temple of Elohim, him shall Elohim destroy. For the temple of Elohim is Kadosh, which temple ye are.
so this is something that we downplay as believers. We downplay the impact of our bodies. So we come and say, oh, we are one in Christ. We are all one. We are all this. We are all that. The body is still very important, and we're going to see the importance of the body as we go. Because when you have resurrection of the dead, because this is what we attain to. The resurrection of the dead is so important. The Apostle Shaul said that he was willing to throw away everything so as to attain unto the resurrection of the dead. Let us see at Philippians 3, verse 7.
But what things were gain to me, those I counted loss for Hamashiach. Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Hamashiach Yahusha, my master, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Hamashiach, and be found in him, not having mine own righteousness, which is of the law, but that which is through the emunah of Hamashiach, the righteousness which is of Elohim by emunah,
Continue.
that I may know him, and the power of his resurrection, and the fellowship of his sufferings, being made conformable unto his death,
If
by any means I might attain unto the resurrection of the dead.
This is the most important thing. This is why we leave our bodies behind and have to be willing for this body to be made nothing to attain unto the resurrection of the dead. The resurrection of the dead is the dead rising back again in the flesh. So let Shaul tell us about this flesh and this ruach. It's very important that we understand the difference between this flesh and this ruach. Very, very important understanding here so that we are not deceived. 1 Corinthians 15, verse 35.
But some man will say, how are the dead raised up? And with what body do they come? Thou fool, that which thou sowest is not quickened, except it die.
All right, so this body has to first die. But what happens after the body dies? Verse 37.
And that which thou sowest not that body that shall be, but bear a grain. It may chance of wheat or of some other grain. But Elohim giveth it a body, as it hath pleased him, and to every seed his own body.
So just like how a seed is sown, and then the seed dies, and then it comes back afresh, this is what the Most High is going to do to us. Verse 39.
All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial, But the splendor of the celestial is one, and the splendor of the terrestrial is another.
So there are different types of flesh, and there are some more exalted in the heavenly bodies, the celestial ones, and there are those bodies that are earthly, the earthly ones, all of them having different splendor. Continue.
There is one splendor of the sun, and another splendor of the moon, and another splendor of the stars, for one star differeth from another star in splendor.
Yes, now go ahead.
So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption, it is raised in incorruption.
So the body is going to die corrupted. This body of sin dies corrupted, but the new body that it is going to be raised in is an incorruptible body. Verse 43.
It is sown in dishonor, it is raised in splendor. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power.
Continue.
It is sown a natural body, it is raised a spiritual body.
So the body that is going to come from the resurrection of the dead, we're going to show it will be the same body, but it will have the power of a spiritual body. It will be a spiritual body, but it will look the same. Okay? Oh, when I say the same, I mean it will be a body. Because it says, when Hamashiach returns, we will not know what he will be like, but when he returns, we will be like him. So we don't know what the spiritual body will be, but Hamashiach returned with a spiritual body, and the disciples were able to see him and see him as he is. At times they didn't recognize him, then at times they recognized him. There is a natural body and there's a spiritual body. Verse 45.
And so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul. The last Adam was made a quickening ruach. Howbeit, that was not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural, and afterward that which is spiritual.
So just like Adam and Hamashiach, first man natural, prone to sin, the second man spiritual, who has overcome sin. That is what is going to happen to us. When we have we have been resurrected like Hamashiach, and I'm assuming that we'll attain until the resurrection of the dead, hopefully. Hopefully when we resurrect with the body of Hamashiach, we will resurrect with a spiritual body, having overcome this natural body. Verse 47.
The first man is of the earth, earthy. The second man is from the Master from heaven. As is the earthy, such are they also that are earthy. And as is the heavenly, such are they also that are heavenly. And as we have borne the image of the earthy, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly.
So, in the resurrection of the dead, because we have borne the image of the natural, and we will become spiritual, we will bear the image of the earthy, and we will bear the image of the heavenly after we have been resurrected with the same resurrection body that Hamashiach has. Verse 50.
Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Eluah, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption.
All right, so here it is now. Flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Eluah. So this is what they will say. You're talking about Israelites and whatever. It doesn't matter who you are. Flesh and blood cannot enter the kingdom. But this is not the end of it all. You have to understand what he's saying here. The word inherit there comes from the Greek word kleronomia, which means to be a heir to obtain, to inherit. What it is saying, it is that we were born in flesh, born in the nature of sinful man, living our lives as sinners. It is saying that our fleshly desires and lusts and sinfulness cannot inherit the kingdom. We have to have victory over the flesh by walking in the Spirit. Verse 51.
Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed.
This is what he's telling you, that those who overcome, they will be changed from this natural body into a spiritual body so that they can inherit the spiritual kingdom. Now, when we say body, we're talking about a literal body. We overcome the literal body and we are given another body, which is a spiritual one, which will let us be able to inherit the kingdom. Continue.
In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed.
The dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Changed into what? Spiritual bodies. We will still be having bodies. Okay? Because we must be born again in order to inherit the kingdom. We must be born again in order to inherit the kingdom. This is what it's telling you. Our natural bodies as we are, we cannot enter the kingdom as we are. John 3, let's start at verse 1.
There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. The same came to Yahusha by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from Elua, for no man can do these miracles that thou doest, except Elua be with him. Yahusha answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of Elua.
Except a man be born again. This is what it's talking about. Except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of Elua. Flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom. Verse 4.
Nicodemus saith unto him, How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born? Yahusha answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Ruach, he cannot enter into the kingdom of Elua.
Unless a man be born of water and of the Ruach. This is Acts 2:38. Repent and be immersed, every one of you, in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, for the remission of sins, and you shall receive the gift of Ruach HaKodesh. This is it. Acts 2:38. Let's continue. Verse 6.
That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Ruach is Ruach.
So that's it again. You're born of the flesh. You're born natural. Without being born again of the water and the Ruach, you'll be born of the flesh. But when you're born of water and the Ruach, you will be born of the Ruach. Verse 7.
Marvel not that I said unto thee, you must be born again. The wind bloweth where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but canst not tell whence it cometh, and whither it goeth. So is everyone that is born of the Ruach.
So when you are born of the Ruach, the Most High is able to take us wherever He wants us to go. That is how you're born of the Ruach. Then when you are born of that Ruach, then you are ready to inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Now, let's continue in 1 Corinthians, because it says this corruptible body cannot inherit the kingdom. Verse 53.
For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
So there's a qualification. I want you to get it. We have to be transformed from how we were born. We have to be transformed into spiritual creatures, into the likeness of Hamashiach, walking as He walked. Okay? Being like Him, being in His image. When we do that, then we can attain unto the resurrection of the dead. When we arise with a spiritual body that is incorruptible. I just want us to get that part. All right? Continue.
So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, Death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory?
So the victory of the grave is to hold us down forever and ever. But the grave cannot have its victory. When the trump sounds, then we shall arise again. And verse 56 tells us,
The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to Eluah, which giveth us the victory through our Master Yahushua HaMashiach.
so the strength of sin is the law, because the law shows us what sin is, but does not provide us with the means of overcoming the sin. But thanks be to Allah, He gives us the victory by providing us with the means of escape through Yahushua HaMashiach. And this same procedure of the resurrection of the dead is shown to us in 1 Thessalonians 4, starting at verse 14, between verse 14 and about 17.
For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will Eluah bring with him.
Will Allah do what?
Bring with him.
So those who are asleep, those who are dead, He will bring them with Him. He will bring them with Him with a body, a physical body. But it will be a physical body that is spiritual. Verse 15.
For this we say unto you by the word of the Master, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Master shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Master himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of Eluah, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Master in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Master.
So when Hamashiach is coming, the Most High will bring those who are dead in Messiah with Him, and also those who are alive in Messiah. Because when He descends with a shout, and with the trump and the voice of the archangel, the dead in Messiah shall rise first. And then we're going to see in second Baruch 50 what happens when they arise. We're going to see that they are going to arise in the similitude of exactly how they looked when they were on the earth. Very important. Then those who are alive and remain will also be caught up together with them in the clouds. Why? Those who are alive and remain will also be transformed to meet the Master in the air, and when He comes down, they come down with Him and will forever be with Him. They are going to be transformed. Okay? So let's go to the book of 2nd Baruch, chapter 50. And he answered and said to me, Listen, Baruch, to this word, and write down in the memory of your heart all that you shall learn. So Baruch was asking the angel, what will happen when they have the resurrection of the dead? Will the people look different from when they died? That is the question. Verse 2, For the earth will surely give back the dead at that time. It receives them now in order to keep them, not changing anything in their form. But as it has received them, so it will give them back. And as I have delivered them to it, so it will raise them. Very important. Those who are dead, when they are arisen, they will look the same way. Only thing that their body will be celestial. Their body will be a spiritual body, but it will look the same. And there's a reason for that, because the rewards are in the flesh, as we said at the beginning. You overcome the flesh and you become spiritual to enter the kingdom. But when you enter the kingdom, your rewards are for what you did in the flesh. So you have to be in the likeness of flesh to get the rewards. Okay? Verse 3. For then it will be necessary to show those who live that the dead are living again, and that those who went away have come back. Very important. Because they have to get their reward. They have to come back as they were to get their reward. And it will be that when they have recognized each other, those who know each other at this moment, then my judgment will be strong, and those things which I've spoken of before will come. So you see, they are going to look the same. And let's get something from the Bible to show that it will look the same. John 20, verse 24. From the Bible, John 20, verse 24.
But Thomas, one of the 12, called Didymus, was not with them when Yahusha came. The other disciples therefore said unto him, We have seen the Master. But he said unto them, Except I shall see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and thrust my hand into his side, I will not believe.
Continue.
And after 8 days again, his disciples were within, and Thomas with them. Then came Yahusha, the doors being shut, and stood in the midst, and said, Peace be unto you. Then saith he to Thomas, Reach hither thy finger, and behold my hands, and reach hither my hand, and thrust it into my side, and be not faithless, but believing. And Thomas answered and said unto him, My Master and my Eluah. Yahusha saith unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Blessed are they that have not seen, and have yet believed.
Because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. That means he presented himself as he was before. Just as it said in the book of Baruch, 2nd Baruch, chapter 50. We will return looking as we looked, because our reward is what we did in the flesh. We have to be in the flesh in order to receive our reward. And let's go with Revelation 22, verse 10. So people, Christians, for example, would let you believe, oh, it doesn't matter who you are. Yes? So you're one in spirit and everything, but then what happens after? You don't talk about what happens after. And this is what we're going to show, is what happens after. What the Bible says, what the scriptures say will happen after, when it's time for the rewards. Revelation 22, verse 10.
And he saith unto me, Seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still.
All right. Why are we to remain how we are? Because of the rewards. Wherever we leave this earth, that is the way we are going to get our rewards. We are going to be brought back in the flesh to receive our rewards. Verse 11.
He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according
as his work shall be. According as his work shall be. You see that? My reward is with me to give every man, not every spirit, every man, according as his work shall be. Okay? So this is why we transform into this resurrection body, to get our rewards. This is one of the things that people ignore, the rewards. It's not just you just become and you just enter the kingdom and you just everything. Every man according to his works. So the rewards are not the same. Yes? That is why Hamashiach said in Matthew chapter 19. People ignore this a whole lot. I think about 20. 19. Matthew 5:19.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
So it's not that you need a Jew or a Greek and every story is finished. What about all of these levels? There's more to it. There are more depths to it, and you don't want to explore those. You just want to say, oh, it doesn't matter who you are. Yeah, right. We're going to see the reward is with him to give us according to what. If you mistreated me in the flesh, or your people mistreated me in the flesh, you're going to get your reward. I am going to get my reward for being mistreated. You are going to get your reward for you or your generations mistreating me. That's how it is. So it shows us that there are levels in the kingdom. Ecclesiastes 12 verses 13 to 14. I want you to follow me and we get more insights into this. Ecclesiastes 12 verse 13 to 14. Read it, please.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Allua and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
Why? Why is it important to fear him and keep his commandments? Yeah? Verse 14.
For Allua shall bring every work into judgment.
Every work. With every secret thing, whether it be good or it be evil, every single thing will be judged. This is why we have to get back our bodies. Yes? To be rewarded for what we did while we were in the corruptible body. All right. So let's look at the rewards for Israel now. Speaking about rewards, what are the rewards for Israel? These are rewards for Israel. The Apostle Shaul summarized them and showed that these were the rewards for Israel that were not for the other nations, or were not necessarily for the other nations. Romans 9, verse 3. Read it, please.
For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption.
These are the things now that pertain to the Israelites. All right? These are the rewards that they are going to get when they attain unto the resurrection of the dead. When the Messiah returns to set up his kingdom, they will receive these rewards. And these rewards are not necessarily for the other nations. They can partake of some things like the covenants. They may try to keep the law, but it's not for them. The reward is for the children of Israel, to whom pertaineth the adoption. The adoption, being returned back to the Most High, is for them. Being called sons of the Most High is for them. Read it over, please, verse 4.
Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the splendor, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of Allua, and the promises.
And the promises. So the promises are theirs. So when an Israelite dies and is resurrected from the dead, these rewards await them. These rewards are not primarily for the Gentiles or the strangers who join themselves to them. These are the rewards that they have to get, which is why you cannot discount the flesh. The flesh cannot inherit the kingdom, but when we inherit the kingdom, we will be given back the flesh. Hey, but this time the flesh will be superior. But the flesh will still inherit the promises that were given while we were in the corruptible flesh. Why? The Most High cannot lie. The gifts and calling of Allua are without repentance. When he says he's going to do something, he has to do it because he cannot be a liar. Are you telling me that all these promises have been made, and I will gather you from this, and I will do this, and these people will serve you, and I will that, and then in the end he says, "Oh no, I forgot. Oh, it doesn't matter. Now forget those promises. You are now all equal." No, there's no such thing. Continue in verse 5, Romans 9.
Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all, Alua, Barak forever, so let it be.
Alua Barak forever. So the children of Israel belong to the fathers, and the Messiah came because of the children of Israel. Never forget that. Now, verse 6.
Not as though the word of Alua hath taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel.
So Shaul now goes on to tell you that if you are not in righteousness, then you're not really Yasharal. He went on even to show us that even Abraham, he had many seeds, children, grandchildren, but they are not the children of the promise. One nation is the children of the promise. These are the children of Israel. And among the children of Israel, if you are not in righteousness, then you are not even true Israel. That's what he's telling us. Continue.
Neither, because they are the seed of Abraham, are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of Alua, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
So he's saying Ishmael is not of the seed of Isaac. But he's also going to tell you that Esau was the seed of Isaac, and Esau is also rejected. Continue.
For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac. For the children, being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Alua according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
So Jacob is the promise. All of this boils down. Out of the children of Abraham, Jacob is the promise. That is why only the children of Jacob, the Israelites, are called Hebrews. They are the children of the promise. It matters who you are. Shaul would not be writing all of these things if he's saying, oh, it doesn't matter. No, the promises are for these people. And these people will have to be in the flesh to attain unto these promises. But they can't be walking in the flesh. They first have to overcome the flesh. Then the Most High will transform them and change them. And when they attain unto the resurrection of the dead, and they will put on the resurrection body, just as Hamashiach put on the resurrection body, and will attain their inheritance, their promises, just as Hamashiach is going to attain his promise. What is the promise for Hamashiach? We're going to see why this resurrection from the dead. It is to attain promises in this world. In this world. But we have to overcome this in order to be given a new this, so that we can get the promises. Let's look at the promises for Hamashiach. Hamashiach did not do all of this just for nothing. He did not give up himself just for nothing. Shaul says, for the joy that was before him, he endured the stake and he sat down on the right hand. What joy was before him? Psalms 2 verse 6. And the reward that he's going to get for the resurrection of the dead. Psalms 2 verse 6.
Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill.
That's the first thing. Hamashiach is going to be king of the world, ruling from Zion. That is his reward that he's going to get when he comes back in his resurrection body. Verse 7.
I will declare the decree. Yahuwah hath said unto me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee.
And here are his promises now.
Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
Okay. Verse 9.
Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel.
The Messiah will have his enemies at his feet. He will be ruling the world. He will be able to discipline whomever he wants to discipline, destroy whomever he wants to destroy. He will have ultimate power over the earth. That is his inheritance. Our inheritance is to reign with him and partake of these promises. That is why our bodies will be transformed like him to achieve these promises. Don't let anyone fool you about it. Doesn't matter who you are. You cannot just stop at neither Jew nor Gentile. That's foolishness. That's just taking a part of the scripture and just rubbish the rest. Okay, that is what I want to hear. I like it. It sounds good. Okay, let me forget everything else. That's foolishness. Hamashiach's promise. Hebrews 1 verses 1 to 2. Let's get a little bit more of his promise. That which he's going to inherit when he returns in his resurrection body. Hebrews 1 verse 1.
Elua, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds.
He appointed him heir of all things. This is the promise. This is what he's going to attain when he comes back with his resurrected body. This is what he's going to attain. He's the heir of everything, the whole earth, everything. He will be the ultimate ruler upon the earth. So, what are our promises? What are some of our promises? 2 Timothy 2 verse 12.
If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us.
So if we suffer in this flesh when we get our resurrection body, those promises of reigning in the earth, we will also reign with him because he suffered and he will reign. We also must suffer and must reign. Let's go to Revelation chapter 20 verse 6.
Barak and Kadosh is he that had part in the first resurrection.
Resurrection of the dead. Continue.
On such the second death hath no power, but they shall be priests of Elua and of Hamashiach, and shall reign with him a 1,000 years.
It's 1,000-year reign. So when we attain unto the resurrection of the dead, then we cannot die again. These are the promises. All right? Now remember, spirit cannot die. So we are going to go in our bodies. We're going to have a spiritual body, but we're going to have still a physical spiritual body. But they shall be called the priests of Elua. Remember, to Israel belong the service of Elua. They shall be the priests and shall reign with him 1,000 years. Those are the promises. But there are more promises. And these are the promises now that have not yet been fulfilled. And people want to brush aside and say, this is not going to happen. Isaiah 14, verse 1. This is why we have to come back as we were to receive the reward for what we have done. All right? Isaiah 14, verse 1.
For Yahuwah will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
So here's a differentiation that we're telling you about. Different rewards for the children of Israel in the kingdom from the strangers. That's why we're telling you it does matter who you are because of the rewards. It doesn't matter who you are because of salvation. The strangers will be saved, the Israelites will be saved, but the rewards are different. Verse 2.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahuwah for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives,
whose captives they were,
and they shall rule over their oppressors.
So it's payback time for what they have done. Payback for what they have done. Isaiah 61 verse 4. Starting at verse 4, it tells us the importance of who you are and how the Most High is going to honor the children of Israel in the end, so that everyone can see that they are his special seed. Isaiah 61 verse 4.
And they shall build the old wastes, and they shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities.
All right. This is the tabernacle of David. It's going to be restored. The kingdom shall be restored as to that of old. Continue.
The desolations of many generations.
What about the strangers?
The strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and be sons of the alien shall be the plowman and your vine dresser.
Verse 6.
But ye shall be named the priests of Yahuwah. Men shall call you the ministers of our Aluah. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in your splendor shall ye boast yourselves.
Because?
For your shame ye shall have double, and for confusion they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore, in their land they shall possess the double. Everlasting joy shall be unto them.
So you see, the Most High is our righteous judge. They have to be paid back for what they have done to us. That is why I'm telling you, Mashiach said he's going to give every man, reward every man according as his works shall be. So you're led into captivity, Revelation 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. If you led us into captivity, you have to go back into captivity. Whether or not you are a great follower of the Most High or not, you have to have a period where you pay back for what you have done. He will reward us for what we have done, whether it be good or evil. Continue, please.
But ye shall be named the priests of Yahuwah.
No, verse 7.
For your shame ye shall have double, and for confusion they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore in their land they shall possess the double. Everlasting joy shall be unto them.
Continue.
For I, Yahuwah, love judgment. I hate robbery for burnt offering. And I will direct their work in truth, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them.
Everlasting covenant, a covenant that never ends. This is the everlasting covenant. So Yahuwah says he loves judgment. So the judgment will be there when he makes the everlasting covenant with them. Now, when he makes the everlasting covenant with them, never-ending final covenant, what will happen to the seed? Will it be that it doesn't matter who you are, as they say? Let's see what verse 9 says.
And their seed shall be known among the Gentiles.
Stop. How can it not matter who you are? When he makes the everlasting covenant, he says, your seed shall be known among the Gentiles. Why is it important for our seed to be known among the Gentiles if there is not going to be any reward according to who you are? Read verse 9 again, please.
And their seed shall be known among the Gentiles, and their offspring among the people. All that see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed which Yahuwah hath baraked.
That's it. The Most High is going to highlight these people and give them a reward and say, these are the people that I have baraked. This is it. Verse 10 and 11.
I will greatly rejoice in Yahuwah. My soul shall be joyful in my Aluah. For he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation. He hath covered me with the robe of righteousness, as a bridegroom decketh himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorneth herself with her jewels.
Verse 11.
For as the earth bringeth forth her bud, and as the garden causeth the things that are sown in it to spring forth, so Yahuwah Aluah will cause righteousness and praise to spring forth
before all the nations. So righteousness and praise will spring forth through the children of Israel before all the nations. It does matter who you are. Now, we spoke about the kingdom, building up the kingdom, restoring the kingdom, the desolation of many generations. This is verse 4. Let's see what happens when this is restored. In Amos 9:11 to 12, it even calls nations. So it's telling you that when it's restored, it still matters which nation you are. Amos 9:11.
In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
All right, so this is a restored kingdom now. Let's see.
That they may possess the remnant of Edom.
Edom, it calls a nation. It says his children, the children of Israel, will possess the remnant of Edom. And continue.
And of all the heathen which are called by my name, saith Yahuwah that doeth this.
This is a promise for the children of Israel. They are going to possess the remnant of Edom. Much of Edom is going to be destroyed, and the remnant of them who walk in righteousness are going to be possessed by the children of Israel, and all the heathen who are not Israelites, who are called by the name of Yahuwah, who follow Yahuwah, follow Yahusha, these are going to be possessed by the children of Yasharal. This is a promise. And what are you saying? The Most High is a liar. No, this is one of our promises. Just as he said, ask of me to the Hamashiach, ask of me and I will give you the heathen for an inheritance. The inheritance is ours. That is a promise. Yes? And that promise has to be fulfilled, or the Most High would be a liar. Now, there's a book called The Gospel of Philip. The Gospel of Philip. And that book gives us a little insight. And I'm going to use it as a summary for what we just said. All right? The Gospel of Philip. This gospel is in the Nag Hammadi. Gospel of Philip. Let's go to page 177. Now, let me tell you something. This book is very, very deep. And the book in the Nag Hammadi is very deep. That's why I don't even recommend it. They are deep, but they are not for everyone. All right? They're not for everyone, but they are very, very, very deep. Some of them too deep might get some people confused. All right? So let's go and look into this depth now.
No one would hide something valuable and precious in a valuable container, but countless sums are commonly kept in a container worth only a cent. So it is with the soul. It is something precious, and it has come to be in a worthless body.
You see? The body is worthless as it is, but the soul is kept in there, very, very valuable, but it's kept in this worthless body. That is why we have to overcome this worthless body in order for the soul to be victorious. Okay? So we are put in this worthless body to see if we will be able to overcome it. Continue. Some people
are afraid that they may arise from the dead naked, and so they want to arise in flesh. They do not know that it is those who wear the flesh who are naked.
Those who wear the flesh are naked. When you are naked, you are in sin. That is why when Adam and Eve realized that they were naked, when Adam and Eve sinned, they realized that they were naked. Okay? So when you are wearing the flesh, when you are walking in the flesh, then you are naked. It means you are prone to sin. Continue.
Those who are able to take it off are not naked.
Those who are able to take off this flesh now are not naked. They are not prone or at the mercy of sin. Not prone. That's a bad way to say it. They are not at the mercy of sin. Continue.
Flesh and blood will not inherit Elua's kingdom.
All right. That's the same thing that Shaul said. Continue.
What is this flesh that will not inherit? It is what we are wearing. And what is this flesh that will inherit? It is the flesh and blood of Yahusha.
All right. So, this flesh that we are wearing, this sinful flesh, will not inherit. But we have to be born again and be transformed through the Ruach of Yahusha. The flesh and blood of Yahusha, it is the Word and the Spirit. Okay? The Word and the Ruach. I think I had planned to do a video on this, the flesh and blood. A quick video on it. I can't go into explaining it now. Too many. But the flesh is the Word. The Word did what? And the Word became flesh. Let's go there. John 1:14.
And the Word was made flesh.
And the Word was made flesh. Read it.
And the Word was made flesh, and dwelt among us. And we beheld his splendor, the splendor as of the only begotten of the Father, full of favor and truth.
All right, so the Word was made flesh. So let's get back here. The flesh is the Word and the blood of Yahusha. For us to enter into the kingdom, the Word also has to be a part of us. We have to be like Hamashiach. We have to live the Word, and the Word dwell in us through the Ruach, through the blood, through the Ruach, because it is the blood that gives us access to the Ruach. Because of his offering of himself, then we were given access to the gift of Ruach HaKadosh, or the Holy Spirit, and it is through the Word that we receive the Ruach of Yahusha, and in which we can enter into the kingdom. Okay? Without the Word and without his Ruach, we cannot enter into the kingdom. For this reason,
he said, one who does not eat my flesh and drink my blood does not have life within. What does this mean? His flesh is the Word, and his blood is the Ruach HaKadosh. Whoever has received these has food, drink, and clothing.
continue.
And I also disagree with others who say that the flesh will not rise.
Hey, who say that the flesh will not what?
Will not arise.
This is what we are talking about. We are going to arise in the flesh. But it will be a spiritual flesh. It will be incorruptible flesh. We will arise in the flesh. Very important, because the rewards have to be given. The promises have to be given. Or else the Most High will be a liar. Okay? So all those who are saying it doesn't matter who you are. Oh, you're saying that believers will have to go and will have to serve and will have to be servants and everything. We are already servants. The Most High calls us and tells us that we must serve one another. And he says we must be his servants. We are called to be servants. But those people who 400-year captivity of slavery and affliction for the 400 years, you have to pay back for that. Some places 490 years. You have to pay back for that. That is why there's resurrection of the dead. Continue. And I also disagree.
And I also disagree with others who say that the flesh will not arise. Both views are wrong. You say that the flesh will not arise. Then tell me what will arise, so we may salute you.
That's the question. If the flesh does not arise, no, you tell me. What will arise? Because you're a genius. That's why I say we may salute you. You are a genius. You are even greater than Hamashiach. You're greater than the Most High. Because the Most High promised that we will arise. So if it is not the flesh, then continue.
You say it is the Ruach in the flesh, and also the light in the flesh.
Hey, the spirit in the flesh. That's what they're saying. Oh, spirits, we're going to be spirits. We're going to go to heaven. We're going to be raptured and go to heaven. That's what you say. Continue.
You say it is the Ruach in the flesh and also the light in the flesh. But what is in the flesh is the word. And what you are talking about is nothing other
Than flesh.
It is necessary to arise in this sort of flesh, since everything exists in it.
So we have to arise in the flesh that is the word. And arising in the word means that we arise in the promises that are in the word. We cannot have any new thing outside of the word. And the word promises the children of Israel that they will get payback. They promise the children of Israel that the nations are going to serve them. He promised Hamashiach he will give him the nations, the heathen, for an inheritance. He promised us that we will reign with him. He promised us so many promises. They have to come true. It is the word. And what is the word but in the flesh? What you are talking about is none other than flesh. Continue.
In this world, those who wear clothes are superior to the clothes. In heaven's kingdom, the clothes are superior to those who wear them.
The clothes are superior to who wears them. And what is the clothes? The word. So the word that comes with the different promises are more superior in heaven than anything else. Okay? In this world, those who wear the clothes are superior to the clothes. So in this world, it's about who you are. In the heavens, it is the promises that come with the word that will be superior. Look at it. It says, the clothes are superior to those who wear them. And what is the clothes here? It is the word. Where is it? What is in the flesh is the word. So we are clothed with the word. So it is the word and all the promises that are superior in the kingdom that is coming. All the promises that have been given to us have to be have to come to pass. Everything that we have been promised have to come to pass. All right? So let me just summarize it. Do you have anything to say? Let me just summarize it. We have to overcome this corruptible flesh, this inferior flesh, in order to inherit the kingdom of Shamayim. When we overcome this, then we have to attain unto the promises, because Hamashiach is giving us back rewards according to what we did in the flesh. In order to attain these promises, we have to be in the flesh to attain these promises. So we will be putting on incorruptible flesh, and we will be reigning in the earth with the Messiah, who will be coming back to also attain unto his reward, which is to have the heathen as an inheritance and to be heir of all things that is upon the earth. And we who have attained unto his resurrection will also reign with him according to the promises that were given to our people, according to the punishments that were given to the other nations. We will reign with him accordingly. So it's not that it doesn't matter who you are. Yes, we are one in Ruach, whether Jew or Gentiles. Yes, one in Ruach. But we have different promises. And we have to receive that which we were promised. All right? And the Most High promised us that we shall rule all nations. The children of Yasharal will be the head once again and not the tail. Don't tell me that we have been the tail for 500 years. Go to Deuteronomy 28 and you see all the things that we have gone through. And then, bam, Hamashiach returns. And he says, you know what? Forget everything about it. Wipe the slate clean. I promised you that I'm going to punish them. I promised you that you will be the head. But you know what? Forget about it. I lied. I tricked you. Nah, that's not the Most High that I know. His promises are sure. The gifts and calling are without repentance. He does not change. All right? So get an understanding that it does matter who you are. Now, when it comes to salvation, it doesn't matter who you are because we are one Ruach. So an Israelite there is as sinful as any other from any other nation out there because he's no respecter of persons. But he respects Yasharal, as it says in Exodus 2, when he says, when the children of Yasharal cried out to him and he heard their cry, and he says, Alua had respect unto Yasharal. So he respects his nation, but he does not respect individuals. So all the things that he gives to his nation, he has to carry them out. He will carry them out. And you will see, it does matter who you are. It doesn't matter when it comes to salvation because all of us have to be walking in perfection before him. But the rewards is with him to give every man according to as his deeds will be. And our deeds as a nation, we'll have to suffer for what our fathers have done. Children of Edom are promised a great destruction, for example. But the Most High promised to leave them a remnant who will serve the children of Yasharal. That has to come through. That has to happen. It does matter who you are. All right? But don't think who you are because you're an Israelite that saves you. That cannot save you. You have to walk in righteousness. You have to walk in the Ruach. You have to overcome the wiles of the devil. You have to overcome this sinful, corrupt flesh. All right? All right, so thank you all for watching. This is Khazar Aliyahu along with Jeremy, who was reading for us. Thank you very much. And until next time, please like, share, and subscribe. And leave a comment, please. Until next time, shalom.
Shalom.